Yeah, as you can see on the board, uh, solving A level in brackets JUPEB and IGMB past question on what? First principle. And you can see question number 1, question number 2, 3, 4, and 5. This question number 5 is from both JUPEB and IGMB past question. It's from where I saw the two from your past question. Please take note of this. Okay. So now from this one, this other three, they are also from both past question. Yes, check your past question. You see them. Okay. So let's start with question number 1. Question number 1 is square root y is equals to the square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. So please, I'll be solving this step by step so you will not lose any mark if you come across something of this type. So now, the first thing you do is you make this your equation number what? 1. And the next thing you do is you add change in y to y and change in s to s. So it means change in y plus y is equals to the square root of what? I'm having s here, so s plus change in s all square plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1. So this is my equation what? 2, right? So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract equation 2 from equation 1. Then I'm going to have change in y plus y minus y equals to the square root of what? Of s plus change in s squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 minus what? Minus the square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. You get this? So now this will cancel out this. Then change in y will be equals to square root of s plus change in s all squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 minus square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. So now, what do you think we can do? Please, when you get here, this is where most of you get stuck. Please, the next thing you are going to do is you are going to borrow the idea from what? Sort. You rationalize. And when you are rationalizing in sort, you know that when we have, let me say, y equals to root 3 minus root 2. For you to rationalize here, when you want to rationalize, what we mean by rationalizing is you just multiply the numerator and denominator by 1. Look at it. What do I mean by 1? What is the conjugate of this? The conjugate of this is nothing but what? Root 3 plus what? Root 2. So we rationalize by multiplying the numerator and denominator by what? The conjugate. So it's going to be multiplied by root 3 plus what? Root 2 all over what? Root 3 plus what? Root 2. You get that? So you see, this everything here divided by this is still what? 1. And 1 multiplied by this, we get our original questions back. We have not altered anything. Do you understand? So now similarly with this, if you look at this, this is in form of this. Do you understand? So the next step is we are going to take the conjugate. We will multiply this expression that you are saying by its what? Conjugate. So now we still have this back. S plus change in s all squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 minus what? Square root of what? S squared plus 3s plus 1 times what? What is the conjugate? The conjugate is just what? Plus, right? So now it means square root of what? S plus what? S plus change in s all squared plus 3 into what? S plus change in s plus what? 1 plus square root of s squared plus 3s plus 1 all over all over the square root of s plus change in s all squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus what? 1 plus square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. If you look at this divided by this is what? 1. 1 multiplied by everything here is still what? This, if not altered anything. And you will see the interesting part of this once you know this. So look at the numerator where. When you look at the numerator, what do you observe? You will observe that this numerator is nothing but what? Difference of 2 square. And how do we handle difference of 2 square? If mathematics is true, you are going to know today. Look at this. When we have s squared minus y squared, it's nothing but what? It's nothing but s minus y into what? S plus what? Y. Do you get that? So it means that what is here, we have root s like this. Let me put square here minus root y square here. It's the same thing as what? It's the same thing as root s. It's the same as root s minus root y into what? Root s plus what? Root y. Do you understand? I'm just doing this so I to look in this form. So you can see difference of what? 2 square. Difference of 2 square. So let me clean this part so that I do not get confused. But I hope we are more familiar with this. So now it means if I expand this bracket, so it means that if I have something like s minus y into s plus y, I'm going to get what? Instead of me opening this bracket saying s times s squared, s times y is what? S plus sy. This times this is what? Minus sy. This times this is what? Minus y squared. And you will now say this cancel out this. Then your answer is what? S squared minus what? Y squared. We still get this back. But the meaning of difference of 2 squared is telling you that anytime you come across an expression like this, don't waste your time. The only thing you need to do is just s times s is what? S squared minus y times y is what? Y squared. You see the beauty of that? Yes. So you don't need to waste your time. You need to know that method so you'll be able to break things down like this. And don't forget, root 3 times root 3 is still equals to what? 3. So if you say that you did not agree, look at this. 3 times 3 is what? 9. So root 9. So root 9 is what? 3. Do you get that? So it means anytime you have square root of a number, multiplying the square root of same number, it will give you what? The number himself. So now, this is nothing but what? Difference of what? 2 squared. So look at this. Let me just put something in form of bracket here, so I will get it well. I hope I've explained this well for the purpose of your exam. For the purpose of your what? Exam. So now let me continue from here. So it means that change in y will be equals to what? So instead of me using this to multiply this, using this to multiply this, then using this to multiply this, using this to multiply this, I don't need that, because I know that what is here is the same thing as what is here, and what is here is the same thing as what is here, and the difference between them is minus and plus. That is what difference of 2 square is saying. So you just multiply this with this and this with this, then you put minus in the middle, then you are done. So now this multiplied by this, don't forget root 3 multiplied by root 3 is what? 3. So root everything here, you see they are the same, right? So this multiplied by this will just give us this. It will give us what is inside, and which is the same thing as what? This. I hope you get it. So now it means that we are going to have this multiplied by this is what? S plus what? Change in what? S all square plus 3 into what? S plus change in S plus 1 minus. Use this to multiply this, you will get what? S squared plus 3s plus what? 1 all over what? All over what? Square root of what? Square root of s plus change in s all square plus 3 into what? S plus change in s plus 1 plus square root of s square plus 3s plus what? 1. I hope you get this. You can see. So now, change in y now will be equals to, change in y will be equals to, so now I think we can expand this now. Let's expand this. And as I'm expanding, I'll clear the bracket also. Please, I think I've shown a shortcut to expand all this. So let's take the shortcut. S square, right? Then this times 2 is nothing but what? S times change in s is s change in s. Then multiply by 2 is what? 2s change in s. Change in s square is what? Change in s square. I hope you get this. So now, plus 3 times this is 3s plus 3 change in what? S plus 1, right? Use minus to multiply everything inside. You have minus s squared minus 3s minus 1 all over what? All over square root of what? S plus change in s squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 plus square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. So what do you observe? You observe that s squared will cancel out s squared. Which other thing I see there? 3s will cancel out 3s, 1 will cancel out 1. I hope you get this. So now, change in y will be equals to what? 2s change in s plus change in s squared plus 3 change in s all over what? All over. Let me clean this part. So all over square root of sorry, I don't want to use this. So all over s plus change in s squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 plus square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. I hope you get this. So now if you look at this now, you see change in s is common. We factor it out. So now change in y will be equals to change in s into what? Into 2s plus what? Change in s plus 3 all over what? All over what? All over square root of s plus change in s all squared plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 plus square root of s squared plus 3s plus 1. I hope you get that. So now the next step is to divide both sides by what? Change in s. So when we divide both sides by change in s, we have change in y over change in s, which is nothing but what? Which will be equals to, now instead of me writing something like this, change in s like this, I can easily do it like this. Divided by change in s over 1. I hope you get this. So now, you know that this division will change to one multiplication. This will go up, this will come down. So which is nothing but what times 1 over change in s. You get that, and you will see this change in s will cancel out this change in s. Then you will be left with what? You will be left with 2s plus change in s plus 3 all over what? Square root of s plus change in s all square plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 plus square root of s square plus 3s plus what? 1. I hope you get this. So now, let me clean this part. I hope you are enjoying the class. Okay, so the next thing you are going to do now is to take the limit. We take the limit of both sides. So it means lim as change in s approaching 0. This one is too thick. So now we of change in y over change in s will be equals to lim as change in s approaching 0 of what? Of 2s plus what? Change in s plus 3 all over what? All over square root of what? S plus change in s all square plus 3 into s plus change in s plus 1 plus square root of what? Square root of s squared plus 3s plus what? 1. I hope you get this. Let me clean this part. So like this. So now this is nothing but what? The y all over the s, which is equals to. So now it means anywhere I see change in s now, here I'm going to put 0. Put 0 here, you will left what? 2s plus 0 plus 3, which is what? 2s plus 3 all over. Now put your 0 here. We are going to have s plus 0, which is what? S. Then we will left with what? S squared. S squared plus put your 0 here, you have s plus 0 is what? S. Right? So 3 times s is what? 3s plus what? 1. So don't forget square root plus square root of we do not have change in s here, right? So we write s squared plus 3s plus 1. I hope we get this. So can we add this and this together? Yes. So it means the y over the s will be equals to 2s plus 3 all over what? 2 square root of, if you add this and this together, is what? 2 square root of what? S squared plus 3s plus what? 1. So here ends our what? Answer. So for question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4, look at this. This theory, let me explain this theory. You can check on my previous video. In my previous video, I did something similar to this. I did something similar to y equals to sine square s, y equals to what? Cos square s. Then y equals to what? Tan square s. So please watch my video on this. So after watching my video on this, on first principle, you will see it there. So after watching it, you will just see that the difference between, okay, let me say for instance now, sine square 2s here is just what? S. So just follow the same step that is there. Anywhere you see s, just replace it with what? 2s. Do you understand? Follow the same step, you will arrive at your what? Answer. Please, I would like to see our solution on this. Please, when you solve, you can snap and post it on the comment section. I'm going to go through it so that if it is correct, I'm going to comment. Do you understand? And if you want me to solve them, I can still solve them. I just see it as a repetition of what I've already done before. So please go through my video on all this, you will get it. Okay, so now on this, I have already solved this before. Also check it, it's from your past Q. Also check it, y equals to what? Tan s. Thank you. Please don't forget to share all these solutions with your colleagues. Do you understand? Don't be partial in knowledge. Don't learn alone. Share the video, share the links with your friends doing A11 examination, preparing for A11 examination. Please do this and you will see the reward. And please don't forget to study. When you study, you solve all these things, all the videos on first principle. Please go through it. Those videos, they are to what? Make you, encourage you. Do you understand? They are to, these are the things you are going to see. Do you understand? So please do them. Work hard, strive hard, keep pushing. Do you understand? Don't give up. You can see I solve a lot of examples of this just to help you. Do you get that? So thank you. God bless. I remain your what? Beloved tutor, Jero.